got the same situation on this side that we had on the other side. This pretty serious lip around the edge here. Not even gonna mess with any other method, just gonna go straight for the angle grinder. Alright, we're going to try to get this rotor off. I'm starting on this side just because it's easier to film from. There's a little bolt here that has a number 5 of these hex bits. 1/4 socket will fit on these, so you can get a little more leverage on it. These aren't very tight. Now if yours are rusty, you may want to soak it in some penetrating oil first. But if your car is like mine, a southern car, there's a little bit of Loctite, but these look great. There's basically no rust. I go ahead and do the same thing on this side. That screw is out. So pull your rotor off, and there we go. Now, as soon as I get the new ones, we'll be ready to install. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and replace these lower control arms. So I'm going to hop in the car, turn the wheel, we'll get started. There's 2 bolts right back here on this arm. There's a guy named autodoc.co.uk that has a really good video describing this entire process. But yeah, those 2 bolts there are what we start with. I'll put a link to his video in the description because it's done by a professional studio, it looks like, or at least someone that takes a lot more time than I do to set up camera angles and all that jazz. Me just being a guy in my garage. Alright, there's a big, it's a 22mm bolt and nut that's here connecting the arm to the actual frame. Autodoc's video shows him using this socket and a wrench, but as I found with this other one, don't know about that. So we're going to use the good old electric impact. Alright, that was real annoying, but that's what the bolt and the nut and the washer look like. I took that off on the front and back, here and here. Used the electric impact for the front ones. The rear ones apparently were just too much for even that to handle, so used the good old, put a piece of pipe over the 1/2-inch socket and go at it, and got those done. Okay, I went ahead, got all the bolts loosened off this guy. The next step is to compress and remove the spring, and we'll actually drop the arm and swap it out. Alright, so not too bad. There's the arm out. As you can see, this ball joint is just rinsed. Rubber is totally gone. Bushing is totally gone. Yeah. So we'll go get the new one. I did the other side first, so I kind of already know what I'm doing here, but it's a lot easier if you put the ball joint up into the knuckle, then try to fiddle with the spring, and that way you can make sure to get this little shaft of the ball joint lined up with the piece of the knuckle. there we go. Just gotta tighten the bolts back up and control arms are done. Shiny new lower control arms. I kind of just put the calipers up with one bolt to get them out of the way. But yeah, there they are. Installed and completed, torqued, all that good jazz. A little better view of on this side. Ball joint looks significantly better. So yeah, I think that's probably the most labor-intensive part over with. So the next thing will be focusing on the brakes. And this came in today. Got a rebuild kit for the master cylinder. After inspecting the calipers, I don't actually think any of them need rebuilding. To mark another item off the list. Bam. The rotors are already in. They'll be probably one of the last things I put on though, because they'll just get in the way for doing the rest of the stuff. Thing that I don't have on here that needs to be on here is to replace the tie rods. I ordered those today. Shouldn't be very hard to put those in. It was like a couple dollars difference buying the ends versus just getting the whole rod, and the ends, both ends on both sides are bad, so meh.